How much to give one of your kids for a wedding? Just had a conversation yesterday on this topic. Very hard for my generation. If you're in your 60s, late 50s, you got kids getting married, how much to spend on that? You know, you don't want to be cheap, but you don't want to just throw away money. What's the right amount? So I'm going to walk through what I did, not saying this is right. This is what I've done. And I've got my fourth child getting married coming up here, 2 weddings this year, big expense in retirement. But I want to do the right thing, but I don't want to burn money, but want to have a good celebration of the 2 people coming together, the 2 families coming together, and just have an exciting day. Now, what I do, I'll focus on the process first, is I give my kids a lump sum. So I say, here's an amount of money. You project manage this. You decide if you want to spend half of this on a wedding and pocket the other half on a honeymoon or buying furniture for your house down payment, whatever you want to do. Or you could spend it all, and you can spend it all plus some of your money. It's your choice. Now on the amount, I'm I'm a little bit old school. I don't believe in just having the most extravagant wedding and spending all that money on something that this is going to sound bad, but it's one day celebration. Okay, one day of celebration, which you want it to be nice, but you could easily spend $100,000 on this. It's hard to spend less than 40 or 50,000 on this. It's also dependent on where you live in the country. I've had 3 kids get married here in Indiana. One was around Indianapolis. It was quite a bit more expensive than the ones that are located in southern Indiana in smaller towns. But it is hard, and I'm not saying that I've got the right answer. I'm just saying this is the process that I went through. Lump sum, kind of tailor it towards how expensive weddings are in that area. I also have 3 boys and 1 daughter. Life's not fair. The daughter got a little bit more. A lot of circumstances there, but I'm of the older generation that believes the daughter side of the family typically gives more. And the other families, the fiancés of my kids, they gave a lump sum also. And I do not know what that lump sum was. I let my kids project manage this. They have to live with the consequences of their decision. I think that's a mature thing to do. Now, on the amount, I really don't want to disclose what that amount is. I think that's for you to decide. But, I'm wanting my kids to have a wedding here in southern Indiana, somewhere in the 30 to, 45, 50,000 range. Okay, that's kind of gives you a nice wedding, more mainstream, not the most extravagant, not the cheapest, but more mainstream is between 35 and say 50. So that's kind of what I'm using as the total wedding's going to cost. And then, like I said, I gave my kids a lump sum and say, manage it. So I don't think it's easy to calculate how much you should give. You should look at what the cost of a good wedding is. What do you want to experience? And then what your share of that should be. And some of that is influenced by the means of the other family. So if the other family can't contribute any, maybe I would go up a little bit. If the other family has means and they're going to contribute, around half or more than half, maybe that's the amount that I give, somewhere around half of I keep jumping around 35. That's a low end kind of wedding, really. But great. I know I feel like I'm rambling here a little bit, but I know this is a complex issue that a lot of people want to talk about. Again, I did pay a little bit more for my daughter's wedding than the 3 boys, but they all had fabulous weddings. Not all of them spent all the money. One of them went with a more traditional wedding and saved quite a bit of money for other things that they wanted, honeymoon and things for their house. So that's my take. I'm sorry, I just don't feel it's appropriate to say the exact dollar amount, but that's the thinking process that I go through. Okay, give them a lump sum of a wedding that's more traditional in your area of the country. um, don't get sucked into, hey, I can afford $100,000 wedding, so I'm going to throw $100,000 wedding. I'm not there. It's still money. I'd rather give my kids money, to help them along in life, maybe to get rid of some debt, maybe have an experience beyond the wedding. So that's my 2 cents on paying for a kid's wedding. Let's Joe out.